All right. Without losing much more time, let me just make a very, very short introduction, because I'm very pleased, and I have to say even a bit moved to introduce to you tonight this cooperative cinema session. This cooperative cinema is a collaboration between the ICAU partnership, the Cops for Deaf, and AroundTheWorld.coop. And for those who have not checked yet, AroundTheWorld.coop, of course, first of all, I suggest you very, very strongly to do so. But you're going to discover in the next minute what a fantastic story is actually behind this. A fantastic story which started only 1.5 years ago, when actually researcher Sara and filmmaker Andrea had this crazy but so attractive and tremendous idea to document innovative cooperatives. And the idea was actually to showcase a message full of hope, a message of collaboration, to show actually the human face of the cooperatives. Needless to say, when we met and we discussed, we were very impressed by the approach, by the very radical approach that they were taking and that they wanted to take on this journey of cooperative documentaries, of innovative and inclusive cooperatives, which was actually to tell the story through the voice and through the eyes of the cooperators. And actually to do it radically, only through the voice of the cooperators. So how actually a collective response has a strong impact on the human being, on the local communities. This is what you're going to discover tonight. And I'm very happy that we can do this tonight together. Dear Sara, dear Andrea, dear participants, and dear brave cooperators who are still with us, many thanks. And Sara, the floor is all yours.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It's great. Thank you very much for being here. And it's a great honor for Andrea and myself to have this opportunity tonight to share with you some of the results of our crazy trip. AroundTheWorld.coop is a project, but actually is a bit more than a project. For us, it's a dream that we managed to turn into reality. It was a bet that we won together with our great friends of the International Cooperative Alliance and particularly Cops for Development. So please join us and let me start this Coop Cinema night thanking everyone at ICA and everyone at Cops for Dev, starting from Mark and Georgia, who believe in our dream since the very first day. And of course, really everyone from the president, director general, the regional directors, all the people, officers, because really this was a joint effort. Laura Guion, please, Laura Guion, that she's doing a fantastic job. And all the cooperators that host us. So, what is actually AroundTheWorld.coop? Basically, let me just share with you a few words and then we'll give the word to the videos. But AroundTheWorld.coop, basically, one day my husband is a videomaker and I'm a participatory-action researcher. He came back home with an idea. How would it sound, combining our respective jobs and doing it through a trip around the world, so meeting directly cooperators. And step by step, basically, we managed to turn this trip into reality. So basically, we documented our first pilot story in Italy in August 2018. And then in January 2019, we left our hometown and we engaged in this adventure. So traveling, the first country was Morocco, then Rwanda, Nepal, Malaysia, Australia, California, New York, Costa Rica, Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay. And we came back home only 1 week ago, and now we are here. And of course, I mean, there will be 2 other COP stories from Europe to come. So why actually we wanted to do this? This morning, we were very excited, I think as everyone, to listen to Vandana Shiva's words. But I think that she said something that really impressed us and in a way catch the sense of this project when she spoke about emotional intelligence and of cooperators. So we really wanted through this trip to catch the essence of cooperators, that light into the eyes when they actually are engaging into a collective action to change their life and their territories. So that's basically what we have done, and that's basically the role and the objective of these videos that you will see in a second. How we work, basically we spend between 1 week and 2 weeks with cooperators. It's because we start really with the participatory activities, we start with them to see how they want to tell their stories. And then they tell the stories. So after this first preliminary activities, then we film, but only after that. And you will see, because their voice, they are the people, the protagonists that will tell their stories. So today, in this COP night, we will just have some stop. We will share with you just some of the stops that we had. So we'll skip Morocco, we skip Italy, we skip Morocco, but then we go immediately to Rwanda. So we will watch the video to Rwanda, and we have here James Nkarangwa, that is the first president of the cooperative, that will share with us some thoughts. Then we'll travel, as we actually did, immediately to Nepal, and Mina Pokral from NSCCFL will actually take the floor. And then we finish with California, with the story of the Cheeseboard Collective, and John Torres from NCBA will share with us some insights. So please stay with us, and I think that I'm not spoiling the story. Let's start with the very first video.
Kera nkiri umwana muto papa yarazaga akansaba ikiganza cy'akagira cyatimwa ati cira hangaha ngo akansaba ikiganza akaciraho ati ngo hawe umugisha ati ntugasabirize ati ntugasabirize no ubwo noneho kuba kudasabiriza nyine kuba naje muri cooperative Coopururi Ntende numva ko Coopururi ari nk'umubyeyi wanje. Cooperative started earlier in 2003 when the government has a plan of land reclamation to this place. People who are settled here were sensitized to combine themselves into a cooperative to use this marshland, but it was as an association. Later in 2005, it was formed into a cooperative known as Coopururi Ntende as it is today. At the beginning, with Mr. President Karangwa, our mission our target was to be first, the best cooperative in Rwanda, in Africa, why not in the world?
Koperative Cooperative ni koperative yatangiye mu mwaka wa 2003, itangira ari abanyamuryango bakeya ariko bagenda biyongera, aho ubu ngubu tumaze kugira ku banyamuryango 3,461, dufite abagabo 2,450, ndetse n'abagore 1,311. Koperative rero yatangiye mu by'ukuri ifite imbaraga nkeya, ariko hariho ikintu kijyanye n'ubumenyi bukeya ku bahinzi, dore ko ari bo bwa mbere bagiye guhinga umuceri, ariko ku mahugurwa atandukanye y'abaterankunga bagiye baboneka batandukanye, abanyamuryango bacu bagiye bagira imyumvire iri hejuru, bagenda bakunda igihingwa cy'umuceri.
Umutegarugori yahawe ijambo, maze kurihabwa nta mudamu wari uzi kuri banki inzira iganayo, nta n'umudamu wari uzi koperative. Mu by'ukuri abana bacu icyo kurya bari bazi cyari ibijumba n'imyumbati.
Muri make ubwo twatangiye tumaze kujijuka, twamenye icyo tugomba gukora, twahinze umuceri, bityo twihaza mu biribwa, tumenya no gufata neza abana bacu ndetse n'abatware bacu, ku buryo tumenya no guteka indyo yuzuye kugira ngo abana bacu batazagira ikibazo cy'imirire mibi. Ibyo rero nta handi twabikuye no kuba turi aho turiho, nuko twashoboye kwibumbira mu makoperative, tukamenya ihame ry'uburinganire n'ubwuzuzanye, tukamenya uburyo umugabo yuzuzanya n'umugore, atari bya bindi twumva ngo ni uguhangana. Muri make buri mugore cyangwa se buri mugabo yamaze kumenya ububasha yifitemo.
By'umwihariko ngiye ku bwanjye, ku ruhande rwanjye, iyo bavuze koperative numva iterambere rirenze kuri ngewe ndi kuganamo, kuko hari aho yankuye, hari n'aho ngeze, hari n'aho nteganya kugera. Ubwo rero iyo bavuze koperative mu bugari bwayo, nanjye niyumva mu bugari gutya, aho ndi kuva n'aho ndi. Ubwo rero muri nge byanejeje cyane kandi bindenzeho. Gusa rero koperative ni byinshi byiza igeza ku banyamuryango bayo, nk'uko natangiye mvuga, n'abo duhana imbibi nabo, haba gahunda ya leta, aho koperative igira iki ishyirayo bitewe n'igikorwa kiriho. Muri rusange koperative ifatikanya na leta mu bikorwa bya leta bisabwe, wenda abaturage cyangwa se wenda n'igikorwa ishaka kuba yatera inkunga muri bariya batishoboye, ibyo byose koperative irabikora. Ubwo ubundi buzima busanzwe kuvuga ngo mpinga umuceri ngahinga n'iyindi myaka nk'uko mwabibonye, hanyuma ubundi ndi umukangurambaga. Kuvuga mbere ntarajya muri koperative, mbese ni ukuvuga ngo nari inyuma, nari ndi wa mumama witinyaga, ku buryo ntabashaga no kuba natanga ikiganiro cyangwa ngo mbe naganira n'abandi, cyangwa se ngo mbe navuga mu bantu benshi. Kare wanjye yitabye Imana, yansigiye nyine abo bana 5, nibo na n'ubu nkifite. Ni ukuvuga ngo mu kugenda ntera imbere, ni ukuvuga ngo habayeho kujya ngenda nizigama. Noneho muri uko kwizigama ni nako nahingaga umuceri. Nabanje kuva kuri R10 ngera kuri R20 ngera kuri R30, hanyuma niyo yagiye amfasha mu kugira ngo ntere imbere, hanyuma mbashe no kwigisha abana
navuze ngo koperative ni igisubizo cyanjye kandi ibyo mbivuga bikuye ku mutima iyo nyirebye niyo wagira utege sinayivamo.
After harvest, every farmer receives the rice, the white rice from the factory for home consumption. Before, it was difficult to get the market when you were not working together. It's not easy. After the cooperative created, the production was increased. First of all, the cooperative provided the everything for farmers, seeds, fertilizer, and everything. The farmers started to cultivate rice. After the harvest, that will collect all production and working a contract with the factory and start to bring the production to the factory.
Earlier, the cooperative was a rice cultivation only. When the cooperative comes bigger, you can even think about the diversification. So that caused us to think as entrepreneurs. We started to build a hall. Earlier, we used to meet in these collection centers of rice, and we make a meeting there. Maybe when it is raining, when it is shiny, it was near the swamps where we used to sit and make a meeting. Now when we built that hall, it was one hall in the whole district that was good. People came and demand where they can sit, where they can make their wedding. For the demand of clients themselves, they say that you managed to build a hall, why can't you build a restaurant? After 2 years, we managed to build a small house and call it a canteen. After that, clients also demanded, why can't you build a small house where we can stay at night? So we decided to build a guest house upon the demand of clients. By now, we have proceeded to enter into another project, which is a huge project of poultry keeping. After that, we will enter into another, which will be maybe a school, because it is also our priority. We had very many projects, but we used to sit with the members. We prioritize. We see which is better off, which can cater to our members according to our long-term goals.
Agriculture business is depending on the climate. That is why this cooperative start the other investment to make sustainable the cooperative.
We managed to build a fund from the cooperative, and we sensitized the people, members, to put their own share apart from the share that was put in the cooperative. And now this fund is very good to the farmers because it caters for the school fees of their children, it caters for the insurance for our members and their families. We give some small loans to use when they are cultivating rice.
Kuba twaratoranyije koperative Cooperative nuko twayibonye ari imwe muri koperative dufite zikora neza haba mu miyoborere, haba mu micungire, haba mu kongera umusaruro mu bwiza no mu bwinshi, haba ndetse no mu buryo bwo guha serivisi zinyuranye.
Mbere yuko ninjira muri koperative, ubundi aho nari ntuye mu majyaruguru y'u Rwanda, nuko nkaba nari mfite muramu wanje ufite imwe n'umudamu wanje akaba yaratuye nahangaha. Ugaza kunsura rero mu Ruhengeri aho nari ntuye, ambwira yuko bahinga umuceri bakorera muri koperative Cooperative. Ambwira kandi yuko umuntu wakoreye muri koperative Cooperative aba yagize icyerekezo cyiza, nuko utanza fata icyemezo cyo kuhinga umuceri nkoreye muri koperative. nzi ngira nta nzu mfite, nta nzu nagiraga, nari nshumbitse. Ubwo maze gucumbika nibwo nubatse kariya kazu muri 2007, mba ndakuzura. Maze kukuzuza mbonye umusaruro ukomeze gutubuka, mba nubatse iriya nanone. Nubatse iriya ariko n'ubutaka ndi kubugura hejuru y'iki ya koperative, kuko niyo tubuze amafaranga ukaba ufite ikintu gitubutse ushaka gukora, uragenda koperative ikaguhuza na banki, bakaguha amafaranga ukishyura umusaruro ubonetse. Ubwo maze kuzuza iriya nayo nyibamo igihe muri 2015. Ubu iki gikorwa kiri aha ngaha nagitangiye muri 2015, nkikoze imyaka 3. Kubaka nka ngaho hose no kuhagura ni muri 2015. 94, our country gets into trouble. There was a genocide, and this left people, left hateness in. We managed to come to this swamp as very many people looking economic activities, starting by cultivating. You could find the people who would dig here another, making here, without talking to each other, because people were not trusted to each other. But as time goes on, as trainings came into existence, people know that we are really after fighting famine, after looking economic activities, so the cooperative contributed to much. The success we used to do this is from our members. We have built a strong transparency in our members and trustiness. So the success is a must. For us, a promise is a promise.
Thank you very much. And please, before calling James to take the floor, please join us to congratulate again Joseph and Mediatrice, because they are here with us today. Please, if you can stand up. And I think it's deserved to congratulate them for the great work.
Good evening, all of you. Allow me to just add on some few comments. But before I do that, I would like to thank everybody here to be with us and to share about this information, because we are very thankful that our information is now displayed all over the world, because we have told that you are here standing upon the continents of the world. So I'm James Karangwa, as I have been showing or participating in the cinema. So this is a great pleasure to me and my members here. First of all, this is our chairman, Scott Elise. Thank you for being with us. Allow me to call upon Mr. Jean Dodier, the director of the cooperative, just to stand and say hi before I say anything. There is also another manager, Etienne, agricultural manager, agricultural department manager. So as I'm standing here, I'm the first and the founder of the cooperative because I was the first chairman, as I told in the story. But again, by now, I'm the manager of the investment department because we have diversified as we have been showing you. Now, it is not a speech, but it is a few comments. I want to assure you that this information that has been displayed there is ours. That story is ours and our members, as you have seen. To be sincere, these are one of the members that have been participating in the cinema. So this is what is really done by our members, done by ourselves. Now, my comments is about special thanks. Allow me to thank, first of all, the Republic of Rwanda, of course, with our beloved President Paul Kagame, because this is a great opportunity. We have been told yesterday that this is the second time to host this international meeting for cooperatives in Africa. Now for the second time is in Rwanda. Clap for him, please. Again, I want to thank an agency that is having the cooperatives, RCA, because it's the one that organized this, and I think it is the one that directs these gentlemen from around the world, from Coop Cooperative or ICA, to come to our cooperative, because there are other cooperatives that are operating in Rwanda, and they are very good. Thanks to them. Special thanks goes to around the world Coop for Development, of course, by ICA, for the information shared around the world. I assure you, we have done a lot. And for us, we have been mentioning that a promise is a promise. Even if you come at this time, you may find that we have added more other things, because this film was captured in February. By this added month, we have done other challenges. So for us, a promise, as we have been saying. So what impressed us is that our information has now been displayed all over the world. Now, allow me to encourage some researchers and trainers to do what have been done here, and I want to thank a lot ICA for what has been done for cooperatives. Because we are here as the people in the rural village, but we have done challenges, but the information is just kept there. So you have done a good job, you people. Thanks. So researchers, trainers, I want to tell the investors that is in the cooperatives, in the local, by the way, this is a primary cooperative, not a union, this is a primary cooperative. And there are other cooperatives that are doing well in Rwanda or in Africa and elsewhere. So the information is just kept there. We want to share the information with other people on the rest of the world so that everything can be done. So researchers, trainers, come and research, display information. Investors, it is a good area for investors. You have seen everything is done manually. People are just carrying sacks on the back. We are just using hose. So investment is needed and can encourage for producing more production. I want to end this one because it is not another testimony. I want to encourage very much younger people, because cooperatives has not taken as an economic activity. Leading cooperatives is left for elder people only. Yes, elder people has ideas, But younger people, you are encouraged, please, to enter into cooperative, to join your hands and make cooperative, because it is where you can add on more on I may say employment opportunities. For example, this even I want to end my word here. We started in 2005, as we have been told. In 2007, we only employed 7 people. 7 of which 3 were educated, others were just assisting those 3 people. By now, 2019, I want to assure you that we have 104 employees, full working and full paid employees. I cannot tell casual laborers. Imagine if in the district such cooperatives like Coop Nende, like 10. Unemployment over. Allow me to thank you very much and stop my word here, because I'm very, very happy, for I'm emotional and I can, no, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Really, thank you all the members, all people at the Coop Intende, for the great time we spent together. And now we continue our trip, and we move to Nepal. And this is the story of Future Creation Coop. We are particularly happy and proud to share that this video was the one that was screened during the International Day of Cooperatives in New York, and was very interesting to have the debate and to develop the debate that day around the insights that came from the members of this cooperative. So please, let's watch together this video about future creation from Nepal.
अनि त्यहाँबाट अलिअलि अब कृषिमा नि बस्नु त पहिल्यै बसेँ ऋण लिएको मलाई डर लाग्थ्यो क्या अलिक डर लाग्थ्यो ऋणहरू कसरी तिर्ने होला जस्तो लाग्थ्यो अब अहिले 2 लाख लिएको छ ट्र्याक्टरको लागि हाम्रो खेतीको लागि
अनि त्यहाँबाट लोन लिएर तरकारी खेती अनि त्यसपछि पशुपालन गर्दै आइरहेको छु हैन
सहकारीले के गर्यो भन्दा पनि सहकारीले हामीहरूलाई लोन प्रवाह गरेर 2% लोनमा प्रवाह गरेर गाई भैँसी पाल्ने एउटा जमर्को अभियान सहकारीले गर्यो
अनि त्यसैले हामीले चाहिँ त्यहाँबाट लोन पनि लिएर फर्महरू खोल्यो अस्तिमा त्यो राङहरू नि पालेको थियो हामीले फर्म छ उता सतखेलमै छ अहिले बस्ने ठाउँमा
पहिला मसँग यहाँ एउटा कन्नी च्याउ थियो अहिले गोब्रे च्याउ हालेको छु तल हामीसँग काउली त्यसपछि गोलबेडा लसुन यो धेरै कुराहरू बढ्दै 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 गइरहेको छ
पहिला नि धेरै 2-4 वटा भैँसी ल्याए त्यहीबाट ऋण झिकेर त्यसपछि चाहिँ मलाई फाइदा नभएपछि अलिक घाटा लाग्यो हैन अनि अहिले फेरि अर्को ऋण झिकेर फेरि भैँसी ल्याए अनि अहिले चाहिँ त्यही भैँसीबाटै राम्रो भइरहेछ भैँसीकै लागि हो
86,000 छ है 86,000 छ चेकिङ बनाउनु
समुदायमा चाहिँ कस्तो थियो भने हामीहरूको
गाउँमा चाहिँ एकजना जो धनी व्यक्ति हुन्छ जसलाई हामी चाहिँ नेपालमा साउ भन्छौँ उहाँहरूसँग हामी चाहिँ कर्जा माग गर्थ्यौँ उहाँहरूले चाहिँ कर्जा दिँदाखेरि चाहिँ अलिकति चर्को ब्याजमा चाहिँ लगानी गर्नुहुन्थ्यो जसले गर्दा चाहिँ उहाँहरूले जुन बेला बोलायो हामी त्यही बेला काम गर्न जानुपर्ने हुन्थ्यो अनि त्यसले गर्दाखेरि कहिलेकाहीँ आफू जान पाएन भने आफ्नो बच्चाहरूलाई पनि पढ्न जान छोडेर भए पनि हामीले गाउँमा पठाउनु पर्ने हुन्थ्यो केही न केही धितो राख्नुपर्ने जग्गा हुनेहरूले जग्गा राख्थ्यो अनि जग्गा नहुनेहरूले चाहिँ युवाहरू चाहिँ अलिअलि भएको जग्गाहरू साउकोमा राखेर उनीहरू चाहिँ विदेश गइरहेका थिए खाडी मुलुक गएर दुःख गरिरहेका थिए त्यहाँ गएर थोरै पैसा कमाएर आउँथे जुन कि उनीहरू गएको ऋण तिर्न मात्र ठिक्क हुन्थ्यो अनि त्यो विदेश गएर आएका युवाहरूले पनि कुनै राम्रो काम गर्न सकेन आजभन्दा 7 वर्ष अगाडि हाम्रो गाउँमा चाहिँ धेरै माइक्रो फाइनेन्सहरू आउँथे जुन लोन चाहिँ उनीहरूले अन्नधुन्न दिन्थ्यो त्यो लोन लगानी गरिसकेपछि उनीहरूले कुन ठाउँमा लगानी गर्यो के कामको लगानी गर्यो त्यो हेर्दैन त्यो किस्ता चाहिँ महिलाहरूले जहाँबाट भए पनि लिएर आउनु पर्थ्यो त्यसरी लिएर आउँदाखेरि कति महिलाहरूलाई चाहिँ त्यो किस्ता तिर्ने पैसा हुन्थेन उनीहरूले सही सदुपयोग गरेको हुन्थेन जुन लोन चाहिँ उहाँहरूले समयमा तिर्न सक्नुहुन्न त्यसले गर्दाखेरि कतिजना रुँदै हिँड्नुपर्ने कतिजनाले चाहिँ अकालमा ज्यान फाल्नुपर्ने समस्या देखिसकेपछि अब यसलाई समाधानको लागि हामीहरूले आफैले एउटा सहकारी खोल्नु पर्यो
कृषकको दुध यहाँ आइसकेपछि त्यो कृषकको दुध कसरी आउँछ भने हाम्रो सानो किसानसँग रिलेटेड कृषकहरूकै मात्र आउँछ दुध सानो किसानसँग जो आबद्ध भएको सदस्यहरूको दुध यहाँ आउँछ अनि उहाँहरूको दुध हामीले कलेक्सन गर्छौँ हाम्रो सहकारी मार्फत अनि हामीले त्यो दुध यहाँ स्थानीय बजारमा खपत गर्छौँ स्थानीय बजारमा खपत गरेर रहेको चाहिँ हामी यसै गरी खुवा बनाउँछौँ खुवा बनाएको चाहिँ हामीले खुवा बनाउँछौँ दही बनाउँछौँ घिउ बनाउँछौँ अनि खुवा चाहिँ अब अलिकति त्यो त्यसको अलिकति बिचको मार्जिन रहन्छ प्रफिट रहन्छ त्यो पसल पनि चल्यो हाम्रो जीवन स्तर पनि माथि उठ्यो अनि हाम्रो जीवन स्तर माथि उठिसकेपछि तपाईँको यो एउटा नगरपालिकाले जुन कृषकले उत्पादन गरेको दुध अन्तबाट ल्याउनु परेन यो नगरपालिकामा न्यून मूल्याङ्कन तिरेर यहाँ दुध नगरपालिकाले खान पाउनु पर्यो त्यसकारण नगरपालिकाको पनि जीवन स्तर माथि उठ्छ
हालसम्म हाम्रो सहकारीमा चाहिँ महिला र पुरुष गरेर 920 घरधुरी सदस्यहरू चाहिँ अहिलेसम्म सदस्य भइसक्नु भएको छ प्राय हामीहरूको सहकारीमा आबद्ध भएपछि केही न केही काम गर्नुपर्छ अनि लगन लाउने अर्को त खायो अर्को त लगन लायो अर्को त खायो अर्को लगन लाएर मात्रै गरे हो यो दुईटा त तल मैले आफ्नो खुसीले हाले अब त्यो त चल्ने ठाउँ पाएँ मैले उहाँले सहयोग गर्नुभयो यति गर भाउँछु भन्नुभयो पार्वतीले अनि त्यो भएर म अलिकति माथि पुग्नु छ बिना काम हामी कुनै पनि लगानी गर्दैनौँ लगानी गरेपछि हरेक महिनाको एकचोटि हामी उहाँहरूले लगानी गरेको सही छ कि छैन उहाँहरूले काम गर्नुभएको छ कि छैन भनेर
अनि त्यसमा त्यो तिर्न सक्ने हाम्रो कुनै आम्दानीको स्रोत हुन्थेन होइन अनि त्यो नहुँदाखेरि अब हामीले समयमा उसको साउरा ब्याज तिर्न नसक्दाखेरि त हाम्रो जग्गै दिनुपर्ने अवस्था होइन अनि त्यो भएको हुनाले चाहिँ अनि अब सासू ससुराको पाला चाहिँ थोरै पैसा चाहिने बेला नि साउका गएर पैसा मागेर धेरै जग्गा जमिनहरू सिद्धाउनु भएको क्या हाम्रो बाबा अब जात जातिमा चाहिँ हामीलाई चाहिँ अब दलित जातिमा नै हेर्छ होइन, हामी मिजार हो होइन। पहिलाको हेरिकन त अलिक धेरै नै परिवर्तन आइसकेको छ हाम्रो अब सासू ससुराको पालाभन्दा त होइन। अनि अब यो मान्छेहरूको घरमा चाहिँ अब कस्तो व्यवहार हुन्छ त्यो पनि परिवर्तन भएको छ। तर यो सहकारीमा चाहिँ हामीलाई त्यस्तो पक्षपात होइन त्यस्तो चाहिँ छैन। हामीलाई जे होस् तपाईँहरू पनि आउनुपर्छ, अगाडि बढ्नुपर्छ, तपाईँहरूको त्यो ठाउँबाट नि बस्नुपर्छ भनेर बोर्डमा राख्नुभयो होइन। समितिबाट त्यस्तो पक्षपात चाहिँ छैन। हुन्छ विभिन्न ट्रेनिङहरू हुन्छ होइन। अनि ठुल्ठुलो सरहरूलाई पनि चिनिन्छ, परिचय हुन्छ, चिनजान पनि मौका हुन्छ होइन। जे होस् अब पहिलाको भन्दा त होइन अब यो मान्छे पनि बोर्डमा छ भन्दाखेरि जे होस् अलिकति उमै राखेर छ भन्ने अब हेर्ने दृष्टिकोण त अलिकति फरकै परिहाल्छ होइन।
उनीहरूले विश्वास गरेको छ र हाम्रो भविष्यप्रति चाहिँ उसले चाहिँ अगाडि है विचार गर है भनेर नै नाम राखेको हो। भविष्य निर्माण भनेर राख्नुको कारण किनभने भविष्यमा के छ त कस्तो छ त्यो कुरा त अहिलेदेखि वर्तमानदेखि बनाउने हो। आजदेखि आज म एउटा जुन स्थानमा छु आज त्यो स्थानमा सहकारीले मलाई ल्याएको छ भने किनभने यो मेरो मेहनत र हामी साथीभाइहरूको सबैको एउटा सहयोग र सहकारीले त्यो पूर्ण रूपमा म जस्तै मैले र हामीले कुनै पनि एउटा ग्रुपमा बसेपछि एउटा कुनै पनि हामी मासमा बसिसकेपछि एउटा नयाँ सोच त बनाउँछ। यो नयाँ सोच बनाउनको लागि हामीहरू सबै मिलेर आपसमा सल्लाह गरेर एउटा अब सोसाइटी सबै आपसमा हामी सबै हैन हाम्रो सोच के छ पहिला यो रासायनिक मल यो माटोमा कसरी पर्न नदिने। रासायनिक मललाई हामीले जमिनबाट नदिने बित्तिकै त्यो पानीमा पुग्न पाउँदैन र पानीमा नपुग्ने बित्तिकै हामीहरूले खाने पनि हुँदैनौँ, अरू जनावरले पनि खाँदैन।
एकजना हाम्रो सदस्य हुनुहुन्छ लक्ष्मी ढुङ्गाना, उहाँलाई चाहिँ एकदमै नयाँ काम गर्ने इच्छा थियो। उहाँले चाहिँ केही नयाँ काम गरौँ जसले चाहिँ आम्दानी पनि होस् र हामी महिलाहरू पनि अगाडि बढ्न सकियोस् भन्ने थियो। पहिला चाहिँ उहाँले म पनि इलेक्ट्रिसियनको तालिम लिन्छु भन्नुभयो, ल लिनुहोस् भनेर भने। अनि त्यसपछि उहाँको घरबाट चाहिँ पहिला नजाऊ इलेक्ट्रिसियन भनेको त यो ठाउँमा सबै केटाहरूले मात्रै गरिरहेको छ, केटीहरू कसैले गरेको छैन भन्नुभयो उहाँको फ्यामिलीबाट। उहाँले चाहिँ यो क्षेत्रको पहिलो महिलाको रूपमा चाहिँ अहिले हाउस वायरिङ काम गरिरहनु भएको छ। म एकदम पहिला त एकदम पिछडिएको कस्तो भने एउटा पिङ्गानामा परेको सुगा जस्तै थिएँ म त्यो सहकारीमा आबद्ध हुनुभन्दा पहिला। अहिले चाहिँ के फिल भइरहेछ भनेदेखि अब यो भैँसी पालन गरेर अनि अब इलेक्ट्रिसियन बनेर होइन अनि हामीले यही आएर यही भैँसी पालेर नै हामीले यहाँ घडेरी एउटा किनिरहेछौँ। त्यसैमा अब यसलाई उन्नति गर्दै गर्दै लगेर त्यो सहकारीको लोन तिरेर होइन अनि जब पनि नछोड्ने भैँसी पालन नछोड्ने म्यानेज गर्दै लगेर अनि अब भविष्यलाई सफल बनाउला भनेर सोचिरहेको छु। त्यसपछि दिदीले नि धेरै हेल्प गर्नुभयो, सहकारीले नि धेरै हेल्प गर्यो। मेरो लागि त जन्मदाता नै भन्दा पनि हुन्छ लगभग होइन। हामीहरू सबैजनाले सहयोग गर्छौँ, त्यसमा पनि अलि धेरै चाहिँ म पनि महिला हो अनि अरूहरू महिलाको पनि अलि धेरै कुरा बुझ्छु अनि कुनै बेला त त्यही कुरा बुझ्दा नै अलि धेरै नजिकिँदो रहेछ है, जसले गर्दाखेरि अलिकति सबैजना दिदी दिदी भन्नुहुन्छ।
मेरो चाहिँ अब सहकारीमा आउनुभन्दा अगाडि चाहिँ धेरै उयो थियो, आर्थिक स्थिति पनि कमजोर थियो। अब आफैले उत्पादन गर्न सक्दा पनि हामी पहिलादेखि नै तरकारी पेसै हो भने चाहिँ अनि त्यो व्यापारीहरूले चाहिँ लगानी गर्थ्यो, हामीलाई थोरै बिउ बिजनहरू थोरै लगानी गर्थ्यो, उनीहरूकै भाउमा चाहिँ उनीहरूले लान्थे अनि त्यो भएपछि अनि सहकारीमा आएपछि चाहिँ आफूले जता बढी पाउँछ त्यता पनि बेच्न पाइयो, जहाँ मन लाग्छ त्यहाँ बेच्न पनि पाइयो। अब किसानलाई त 2 पैसा अलि जहाँ बढी हुन्छ त्यहीँ गर्ने हो नि त, अनि त्यही भएर धेरै नै परिवर्तन आएको छ।
अनि हामीहरूले चाहिँ कसरी उहाँहरूलाई सपोर्ट गरिरहेछौँ भने उहाँहरूले उत्पादन गरेको तरकारीहरूको चाहिँ हामीहरूले हाम्रो सहकारीको फेसबुकबाट अनि त्यसपछि हामी सहकारीबाट कुनै पनि ठाउँमा गयो भने हामीहरूले माउथ टु माउथ अनि त्यसपछि हामीले फेसबुक मार्फत एक त प्रचार गरिरहेका छौँ। अनि त्यो प्रचारको साथसाथै नै हामीहरूले हाम्रो केन्द्रीय सङ्घले खोलेको 2वटा पसलमा पनि हामीले लगिरहेका छौँ।
We work on the cooperative management, agriculture, and value chain marketing. We do have 995 cooperative affiliated with our organization, and there is small farmer bank also, and majority of the share owned by small farmer agriculture cooperatives. Banks provide financial service, and we do provide non-financial service for the same target beneficiaries. And we have 82% of women member within our networks. And there are 40% youth within our cooperatives, and most of them, they are already started agriculture entrepreneurs.
घरबाट सपोर्ट मिलेपछि मैले सोचेँ कि गाउँमा गएर पनि महिला पुरुष सबैजनाको पिरमर्का बुझेर उहाँहरूलाई चाहिँ केही माथि उकास्ने अनि कसरी हुन्छ उहाँहरूको आय स्तर माथि उकास्ने भन्ने लाग्यो, जसमा चाहिँ मलाई पहिला सुरुमा चाहिँ केन्द्रीय सङ्घ र ब्याङ्कबाट चाहिँ एकदम सपोर्ट मिल्यो। मलाई चाहिँ यो सानो किसानमा लागेपछि चाहिँ कस्तो भयो भने एउटा मेरो सानैदेखिको इच्छा भनेको चाहिँ सोसल वर्क गर्ने थियो। जब म यो फिल्डमा लागि परेपछि चाहिँ मलाई कस्तो लाग्यो भने आफ्नो काम भनेको चाहिँ त्यो काम चाहिँ एउटा त्यो कामलाई चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ आफ्नो चाहिँ शक्ति बनाउनु पर्छ भन्ने लाग्यो। अनि यहाँका चाहिँ सबैजना सदस्यहरूमा चाहिँ के छ भने यो सहकारीले बेनिफिट भन्दा पनि बढी चाहिँ सहयोगको भावनाले काम गरेको छ। अहिलेको यो ठाउँको लागि अनि हाम्रो लागि यो संस्थाको लागि नै यो सहकारी नै अहिले आत्मा बनेको छ।
Thank you very much. Before starting with the third and last video of this tonight Coop Cinema event, I have the pleasure to invite to take the floor Mina Poker, and thanking her for the great time we spent together and the great kindness she had with us, also taking care of us when we got very sick.
Thank you, Sara. Namaste and good evening. Yeah. At first, on behalf of Nepali Agriculture Cooperative Central Federation and its member organization, I would like to thank you I would like to thank you around the world, cooperatives, projects, and ICA and Cooperative for Development for selecting the NSCCFL as a potential member to shoot this film. And I also like to thank Sara Vicari and Andrew, who put together their energy, their passion, their dedications, everything to complete this video. And this is the story of the agriculture cooperatives nearby Kathmandu city. The Kathmandu is the capital of Nepal. And you can imagine what is the situation of the rural cooperatives in Nepal. So it's the key message is as to how cooperatives are providing service to its member to bring the social transformations into community and agriculture practice and need of cooperatives and power of unity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mina. So we launch now the third video about the Cheese Board Collective in Berkeley, California.
I have been a part of the Cheese Board Cooperative for 44 years now. I came to California from Ohio when I was in my middle 20s in order to work off alternative service to the draft during the Vietnam War as a conscientious objector to the war itself. And I moved to Berkeley and worked in community service for several years in a hospital. During that time, I met some people who were at the Cheese Board Cooperative. It wasn't actually a cooperative in the very beginning. It was started as a small ma and pa store selling cheese in 1967. By 1970-71, the owners, Sahak and Elizabeth, suggested that because they were already paying their employees the same wage they were taking themselves, why don't we just turn this into a cooperative, or the term that they used in those days was a collective. It was an immediate success.
When I tell my friends I'm going to Cheese Board, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're so lucky! Bring me back a piece." It's like a well-known place that people want to be a part of. Like it is a community here. The Bay Area is an expensive place to live. You don't need a lot of money to come here. You can just come and sit and eat a slice of pizza. You share a table with people. You hear nice music. You know, weather is wonderful.
I didn't really know anything about this place until I went to middle school, and I used to have to walk back and forth, and I used to see the lines here, and I would always wonder what's in this place where people were sitting outside, where it's raining cats and dogs, and people still sitting outside. So I finally came here and realized it was vegetarian pizza, and I'm a meat eater, so I'm like, what the hell is this?
We
started out with a very homogeneous group, kind of radical hippies or something, back in the early 70s. But it has been a goal of ours to become more diverse, to reflect the greater population. The biggest criterion to be here is that you want to be here. You want to be part of this kind of alternative political governing body, where we look at capitalism as not the only possible way that you can make a living. We want people that have all kinds of skills to come and share their skills with us.
We make $24 an hour. We all make the same wage, regardless of how long you've been here. So that's kind of unusual. And then at the end of the year, we split up the profit. Not based on seniority, which might be, or investment, which would be the traditional way of splitting up profit, but on the number of hours each person worked. We make about in profit probably over $1 million a year. It's a lot of money if someone owned this business. It's a lot of money to me. But then we split up among 65 members. It becomes a modest amount of money for each person. And so it comes out to about another $10, $11 per hour.
The cheese board work on kind of an anarchic kind of model of equal pay for equal work. It's an hourly pay. It doesn't matter what kind of job you do. Usually if you come from another kind of workplace, you would see that you have an employer or a manager, and then on the other hand, you have an employee that does what the manager says. And any input that comes from the employee is kind of looked down or ignored. It's bad for the employee, it's bad for the business. And so the idea within the cheese board, I feel, is that all the job is equally paid, but also all the jobs are rotated.
At other places I've used to work, like, you do the exact same thing every single day over and over and over again. And this is so much variety. And it's super nice to just be able to learn and do so many different things every single day.
You know, in all of the jobs that I have had in the past, I always used to think to myself, like, oh, you know, if I was the owner, how would I do it differently? But it just ends up being that I found this type of business where I don't have to be like a rich millionaire starting an own company in order to like have a say in my place of work. I think that we all work a little harder and care a little bit more because it is ours, and when we do well, we as individuals also get to benefit from that. And when I was a manager at a different business, I never liked punishing people or bossing people around. It's not in my personality. So it's a better fit for me personally to be in a workspace that's non-hierarchical and where we all just kind of make decisions as a group for what's best.
There are so many places I've worked where I was one of the few people of color, and the people who were in charge were often white men. And I think there's something about that that sets the tone of who has power and who doesn't. One thing that's been really good about working here is that it's just the way the structure is set up, everyone is equal. So even though it might feel like the power isn't necessarily shared completely equally, it is so much better than other places. And you know, I'm an immigrant and a woman of color, and this is one of the most empowering places ever.
I spent 28 years in food service. I've never had paid time off. Never had healthcare paid for. They've never had it covered for me. And that I was able to get healthcare from day one. $400 a month that I didn't have to pay, you know, out of my own pocket.
Allow people to be flexible with their schedules. I guess the majority work around 40 hours, 35 to 40 hours. But if people need less or more, they have a proposal ready for the group at the monthly meeting, and then people are usually nice. And the reason is always the same, because you will never know what life brings to you. And so, you know, one day they might need, one day I might need. Like for example, 5-6 years ago, I was working like 50, 60 hours because, I was single and no kids, and I was like, I want to do this, my business, more money for me, and now I have a son, so I would like to spend more time with my son, so I try to work 35, 40 hours, and so I can spend more time with when my son grows up. That's all.
One of the reasons, in my personal opinion, that we have been as successful as a cooperative ourselves is because every 4 or 5 years we decided to try something new. For example, the business started just as a cheese store, but pretty quickly people realized that with cheese, bread went very easily in the palate, and so we started baking breads and selling it at the store. Eventually, years later, we decided to combine the bread and the cheese and make a pizza. We decided that even though we didn't want to continue to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, we would try and duplicate ourselves. We basically franchised ourselves with the idea of starting another cooperative that would have the same kind of rewarding life and community building aspect that we have found. We called it the Arizmendi Cooperative because of the name of a famous Spanish priest who started a cooperative movement in Spain, which we admired greatly. There are 5 different bakeries, all called Arizmendi in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Cheese Board was the original co-op, and we approached them and we said, we'd like to start new businesses based on your model. Would you support us in doing that? And they were incredibly generous in helping, providing recipes, providing training, allowing their name to be used, and they still maintained their membership since then. In the United States, there's been, among progressive people, there's been very much a perspective that small is beautiful, and that's the only thing that you should do. Becoming big is a problem. And for us, we kind of think that if you're only small, then you're also marginal, and you're not really helping out with larger social needs. So we wanted to find a way that co-ops could stay small and serving their immediate community, but network such that they could have an effect on the overall society.
In the last decade or so, we've seen a great increase in interest in using the cooperative business model for workers to empower themselves in the economy. In fact, just last year, the U.S. Congress passed a law called the Main Street Employee Ownership Act that directed the federal government to make technical assistance and financing available to people who wanted to use worker cooperatives as a business model. We're excited about this because just like in many places across the globe, in the United States, we are experiencing increased inequality. We certainly recognize that many people feel that they're losing their place in the economy. And worker co-ops are one of the best strategies for people to, again, take control of their work life, take control of their workplace, so that they can take care of their families and take care of their communities.
Even though we are attempting to build the idealistic community in which to live, and we're working hard to do so, and we're sharing all of the things that we have to offer, we're still made up of people that are human beings that have their flaws. We all have our flaws. And so because of those flaws, there are conflicts. The larger you get, in some ways, the harder it is to make a community that shares all of the same ideals.
At the cheese board, when we make decisions, we have 4 levels of decision making. You can say yes. You can vote yes. You can vote abstain. You can abstain and not vote. You can vote no, or you can vote a hard no. And a hard no is like a blocking no. And in order to stop something, you have to have a very, very important moral reason that you could not work here if this happened. And we have a facilitator come and help us organize our meetings. We have, and at first I was kind of hesitant about it because I like the fact that we self-facilitated and it seemed very private. But in the end, I think it's helped the group a lot come to move forward and make decisions, because the bigger we get, the harder it is to kind of corral the group.
I'm not a worker owner, so I don't have a stake in the decisions. Like, I never care what decision the group makes. I care that the group makes the best decision for the group. So, sometimes I think the role I can bring is to bring the outside perspective of, do you remember 4 years ago when you didn't have this? And do you remember all the work you did to get this? And when I first came in, the cooperative was pretty big, not as big as it is now. But it was using a lot of the practices from when it was smaller, and they didn't meet the needs of the bigger co-op. And what I've gotten to see over the span of 7 years is the co-op really get a better sense of what are our needs now. I think they've come to the realization we need more structure than we had, and we need more things written down to refer back to than we had. And then I get to help them to meet those needs. And it's really beautiful to see. Yeah.
You're really vulnerable to a couple people who could be really negative, can really bring a business like this down amazingly. I think that's a problem to confront also, and the more committed people you have, the more successful you can be too. So you're somewhat at the mercy of the constellation of people that you put together. As opposed to a traditional business, you just fire the ones that don't work out. It's harder for a cooperative. So I think that's something we learned.
Well, sometimes I think about cheese board is like being part of a big family. So that means that we function and we don't function. We argue and we love each other. And so much of the cheese board is like that. But it is also this thing where you can get up in the morning and you can look in the mirror and feel like I have done as little harm as I can. I have actually, what I do here is try to make things better.
I can't say in a big way necessarily what I believe and what kind of society I want to live in. But if I show it, that's a pretty powerful statement. And that's why I'm still at the cooperative after 44 years. But it's my community, it's my family, it's my extended family now, and so I don't want to leave it, even though I don't want to work as hard as I did when I was young. And so, and I want to show more and more people the advantages of working cooperatively rather than competitively. Whether it will be successful in the end, nobody knows.
So I invite now to take the floor John Torres to make some comments about this video. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sarah. I appreciate it. Yes, absolutely. Thank you for those of you who've stayed to see this last portion of the film. On behalf of Doug O'Brien, who you saw in the video, he regrets he can't be here, but what he would like me to tell you is that cooperatives are always a good idea. And it is through videos like this that we really see that has a strong humanity about it. And I remember when Sarah and Andrea came to our office in DC to talk to us about this, and they had been traveling so much, and I was expecting to see a couple of folks who were just absolutely dead tired, couldn't lift their heads, couldn't really see straight after traveling for so long, but walked into that conference room and they were excited, they were happy, giant smiles on their face, and it's a testament to the topic and the subject that they were covering. Thank you so much for your work. Thank you very much. Thank you. As a communicator, one of the hardest things I have to do is to tell the story. And telling a story in any way is not as difficult, but to tell a good story is hard. I think they have captured that. They have captured the humanity inside cooperatives, and we can see across the board and around the world how important telling this story is. So I encourage you, as you see the rest of these films that come out, please amplify these. Share this story with as many people as you can. And again, I want to thank ICA, thanks Co-op for Dev, thank you to Sarah and Andrea, thank you to everyone who's involved in this. These are the kind of products that we need in order to elevate and amplify the cooperative story. Thank you.
So now join me to invite to take the floor the man behind the camera, as he used to be named in Malaysia, and for the final remarks. Andrea, please come.
Good evening, everyone. Please allow me to start this final remark by thanking again and deeply Mark and Georgia. From the very first day we met, you have transmitted us your enthusiasm. We felt your support in every single moment during this COP journey around the world. Thank you very much. It's amazing. Now, Sarah and I have friends all over the world, from Nepal to California, from Rwanda to Australia, from Costa Rica to Morocco, 11 countries, 12 cooperatives, and thousands of people, members, who have introduced us to their world, their reality, and it was a privilege to feel at home everywhere. Before this trip, I didn't belong to the cooperative world, and what I have learned this year is that wherever we have gone, whoever we have met, cooperators' eyes are always the same. The strength they transmit is the same. The courage they spread is the same everywhere. The inspirational power we found in the words of Parvati of Nepal was the same we found in the words of Michael in California. The visionary entrepreneurial spirit of James here in Rwanda, we also found in Ramiro, who lives in Argentina, where he is struggling to generate employment with a recycling cooperative in Buenos Aires. Donna Maria in Brazil, who has defended her land and has organized herself in a COP together with other women, reminded us of Fatima in Morocco, who has fought to transform her territory. We learned that cooperators everywhere, with their collective action, they are innovators. And everywhere, from the housing COP in Montevideo to the platform COP in New York, from the school COP in Malaysia to the Aboriginal Artist COP in Australia, from the electric COPs in Costa Rica to the social COP in Italy, they allow people and their community to create the society they want to live in. No need to say, during this year, we, Sarah and myself, we fed ourselves with this powerful transformative energy, and we collected so many ideas. Please join us to thank cooperators who opened us their doors and allowed that this energy and ideas could be shared with the world through these videos. We made our best to tell these stories by producing videos where members could be the true protagonists and watchers could feel being there at the COP as they were actually there talking with cooperators. As said, all this is the result of a methodology. This is our style of work, spending days and days with cooperators, but acting as if we were flies, trying to be as less invasive as possible. We hope we managed. I'm happy to conclude these remarks just with a few words about AroundTheWorld.coop, our association, that we hope one day can become a cooperative. It's also thanks to Yuri, Federico, Flavio, Veronica, and Cecile if this crazy COP journey around the world has become a reality and has gone smoothly. When we started this COP journey, we were a small team, but this journey has really transformed all of us. Today, we are a reality. We are a real team, and we'll do our best to keep growing and continue to tell stories without fading into superficiality, always trying to do participatory work. We have now many ideas and projects for the months and the years to come. Of course, first of all, we have to conclude editing the videos left, but also we are happy to announce today that we'll do our best to sum up our trip in a documentary film, 2 hours of film, where all cooperators we met this year around the world can have the chance to tell the world their collective transformative story. This is our next dream, and we'll keep up the good work to turn also this dream into a reality. Thank you all for being here with us tonight. We hope you enjoyed, and we do hope to see you again, maybe around the world.
So thank you very much. The night is over. I don't know. I think that we can all go to have dinner. Just in case you have questions, we are here. But I think that is over. I mean, up to you. Thank you very much for being here until the very end. Thank you.